Namaste. Lovely to be here with you in our virtual space again. And I hope life is being kind. We're going to start today's sitting, and in case you haven't got any yoga blocks and stuff like that, you could choose cushions, or what I found really helpful is a couple of large books, large enough to sort of take your sit bones, because ideally we really want the hip bones to be above the knees. And then if your knees don't reach the floor, there's always that option to pad up with a blanket underneath as well. So maybe you might want to actually pause to grab any items that you need. Blankets are always great anyway for when we move to relax at the end. Cushions might be handy for underneath your head or under your knees. So feel free to pause the recording and gather your resources. And so now we're going to just take some time to really arrive in this moment. And what helps us to arrive is to go inside the land of the body and feel this body, this experience of this body, meeting its support, connecting and plugging into this moment through your connection with the ground. And that will be through maybe the sit bones on your block or books, and your meeting points between the body and the floor. So let's allow the body time to arrive. Allow that sort of fizz of all the doing that went before this moment to settle, like the bubbles in lemonade, to just settle. Allow the body to slow right down. To feel all those points of contact between your body and the floor. And to notice where the hands just naturally settle. They might be on the knees, they may be in the lap, wherever they feel good to rest. Maybe notice your energy. Whether you feel tired or even wired, whatever energy is there, just noticing it. It's here anyway. We don't need to judge it or change it. Just notice what's here. Notice your mood. And if you can, just notice what's here without thinking, oh, that's not a great mood to have. It's here. So what if we can make space for what you're experiencing right now to be held with a sense of kindness and befriending. Notice the space around you, the space that wraps around you, the feeling of that space. Maybe it's warm, drafty, cold. Maybe that space around you has a nice familiar scent of home. Just noticing that. And then move up close to your breath. And that doesn't mean taking the reins of the breath and doing something with it, but begin to notice the experience of the breath just as it is, as if you're discovering breath for the first time. Breath flowing in and the breath flowing out. And allowing that breath to be just as it is. So it might be fast, it might be slow, it might be deep, it might be shallow. Just feel the breath. And in this moment, let's make space to accept what's here, accept what we can change and what we're not able to change. And breathing into this moment as the only moment we have right now. This moment, the only one we're able to inhabit fully. So let's feel that. This moment is alive and full and yours. And then we're going to start to bring a little movement into our practice. So interlinking the fingers, feel that. Feel the hands holding each other, really present to all this sensation. And then inhale, pushing the palms away and reaching up. And then releasing the hands and exhaling. Feel that sense of letting go and calming of the traffic of the mind. Interlinking the hands, inhaling. And then exhaling. Feel the air as the arms flow down and then come together and meet each other. Inhaling, reaching, maybe pushing the palms a little bit more up towards the sky, lengthening the arm, relaxing the jaw, and then releasing and exhaling. Hands coming together, meeting each other as if for the first time, or there you are, that feeling, almost holding your own hand at this time when maybe there's not so many other hands to hold. Your hand is very welcoming. Inhaling, reaching up tall. And this time exhaling, keeping the arms up there. Inhaling, reaching, lengthening the sides of the waist. Exhaling, softening a little. Inhaling, reaching. And then exhaling, taking the hands down behind the back, interlinking the fingers, moving the shoulders away from the ears. And we're inhaling, lifting the heart center. And then exhaling, squeezing the shoulder blades together gently. So there might be a part of us that thinks, oh yeah, I need to really wring that dishcloth of the shoulders out. But let's gently squeeze, as if we really matter and we want to be kind. Inhaling, lifting the heart center. And exhaling, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Inhaling, lifting the heart. Exhaling, squeezing the shoulders together, and then releasing the arms. And let's just relax the shoulders. Maybe relax the head. Give it a gentle dance of the neck. And allow the hands to settle on your thighs. And you're going to invite the neck to release. So let's let the left ear listen to the left shoulder, as if it's really got something to say. So we're actually paying attention to it. And then we're going to roll the head down, chin towards the chest. And then let the right ear have a listen to the right shoulder. And then inhale the head back to vertical. Exhaling, left ear to left shoulder. And then rolling down. Right ear to right shoulder. Inhaling up. So maybe try that with the breath. If that feels a little bit complicated and your breath wants to do its own thing, it won't let you down. So just let it breathe you as feels comfortable. Most of all, what's important is just our presence with the movement. Let our mind have one task, and it's to feel this experience. Nothing else. And when you next lift your head, let's just go back the other way. So now we're listening to right shoulder and then rolling down and listening to left. Maybe with each out breath, just notice a sense of the whole body softening, inviting release wherever there might be some tension. And then completing the rotation that you're on. And bringing your head back up to vertical. And then imagine you're going to, first of all, let's just take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, imagine you're just going to look under the left armpit. And then we're going to inhale up and look under the right armpit. And do that a couple more times. And then inhaling back to the center. You might want, if you are sitting on some blocks or books, maybe move them aside right now. And allow your legs to just gently cross in front of you. Mine are crossing at the ankles, yours maybe at the shins, and it's okay. And then keeping the hands on the knees, we're just going to inhale, lifting the heart. We're sort of arching the back. And then exhaling as if you're drawing a line with your nose along the floor until your nose is looking at the navel and rounding the spine. Inhaling, heart lifting, rocking forwards. I'll show you just side on. Exhaling, rolling back. So the whole of the exhale is the rolling and rounding of the spine, giving a nice stretch to the shoulders. And the whole of the inhale is lifting the heart. And then gently slowing that down until you come to stillness. So it's almost like every movement that we're doing is slow motion. And then let's invite a little bit of opening into the hips. So let's circle the hips. We're inhaling as we roll back, drawing the navel in towards the spine, and exhaling as we fold forwards. And as we exhale, we're sort of squeezing out the breath. And then let's go back in the other direction. Inhaling, rolling back. Exhaling, moving forward. And then coming back to sit and be still. And notice your spine. Excuse my lovely dog in the foreground, he's just doing a quick Shavasana. So notice the lengthening of the spine, the space between the vertebrae, the sit bones sharing the floor, balanced and poised. And then let's take the hands to rest on the shoulders. We're going to inhale and then exhale to the left. It's like we're sort of squeezing out the abdomen. Inhaling to center and exhaling to the right. Again, not pushing, just inviting what's a comfortable squeeze. Exhaling. Inhale. And then coming back to the center. Inhaling, reaching tall. Interlinking the fingers and taking them behind the head to just at the back of the skull. Inhaling, opening the heart center, and then exhaling, nose towards the navel, folding the wings of your elbows. Inhaling, opening. And exhaling, folding. Inhaling, lifting the heart, the sit bones are pressing down into the floor, the sides of the waist are opening and lifting, exhaling, folding. And this time as you fold, let's just hold that. And it's just the weight of the hands that are inviting a stretch in the back of the neck. We're not pulling the neck, that would be a little too strong. So we're just allowing gravity to weight the head with the hands. And then inhaling wide, releasing the hands, pushing the air out to the sides of us. Placing the right hand beside the right hip, lifting the left arm up, turning the palm towards the ceiling and as if we're pressing to hold up the sky, and then exhale towards the right, reaching over, feeling that nice lengthening along, stretching along the side of the left waist. And inhaling, taking the left hand down by the hip, lifting the right arm up, pushing the sky away, and then exhaling towards the left. Relaxing the jaw. And then inhaling, lifting, and settling back down. Inhaling, taking the arms up. As you exhale, turn towards the left. The right hand rests on the left knee, and the left hand goes to the ground, sort of in line with your spine. And as you exhale, you twist to look over the left shoulder. Inhaling, you might ease out a little bit, and exhaling, a twist. So it's like an ebb and flow of the movement. And the next time you exhale and twist, let's take a few breaths here if it feels okay. If that feels too much of a twist and you choose to come out sooner, that's really, really fine. Because you know your body, you know what's enough. And we only ever need enough. Don't need to push beyond enough. And now inhaling, let's bring both of the arms up. Reach for the sky, lengthening the sides of the waist, and let's twist to the left. Sorry, the right. Left hand on right knee, right hand behind in line with the spine. Lengthening the spine. Twisting as you exhale. Releasing a little as you inhale. Notice your jaw and soften your jaw. Make a little bit of space between your back teeth. And I'll mention this quite often because it's interesting that if we squeeze our jaw shut, it has an impact on our shoulders and our pelvis. They all start to think that, oh, there's something to worry about, and the body contracts. So relaxing the jaw can help us to move towards a softness. And the next time you twist to look over that right shoulder, let's take a few breaths here if that feels okay for you. Again, coming out if you need to, or lessening the twist if you need to. You'll know. We go with what feels comfortable. And then releasing, coming back round. Let's interlink the fingers, stretch one more time. And let the hands just settle back down. Okay, so we're going to invite a little bit of opening into the hips. So maybe take your feet forwards a bit. So I've got like a triangle of mat, of space that I can see in front of me. My see if I maybe show you this way, that helps a bit. So I've got this space here in the mat, and the shins are crossed. We're going to inhale, reaching up tall, and then folding from the tops of the thighs, so not from the back, but from the hinge at the tops of the thighs. We just let the hands fold forwards and see where they land. And at first, when the hands land, you might think, blimey, that's a bit strong in the hips. So that's okay, lessen it. Yeah, we've always got this choice. We're not meant to endure uncomfortable. So finding where's comfy for you to spend some breath. And we're going to breathe here for a little while whilst the hands meet the floor, whilst the palms of the hands feel the sensation of the mat, and the touch of the mat, each finger discovering what a mat feels like. And this is really handy. We've got loads and loads, thousands of nerve endings in the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet. And when we notice our connection through either the palms, in this case it's the palms, but when we're working with the feet, it's the same. When we notice that sensation, we're sending lots of good news to our nervous system that we're here and here is okay. And after a few breaths, you might find that you can take your hands a little bit further forwards. And if that feels okay, then do. And if you think, no, I'm actually at my comfortable maximum, just staying where you are. And then slowly, like slow motion, walk your hands back towards your body. Notice now which leg is crossed in front. So in my case, it's my left leg is over my right, because we're going to change them so that you're going to put the other leg over next time. So to do that, let's just place the hands on the mat, fingers pointing forwards, draw the navel in towards the waist to support your abdomen, and let's uncross and recross the legs. And coming back to vertical, noticing the spine, the lengthening of the spine. Inhale, reaching up tall, and then hinging again from the tops of the thighs. Let the hands settle down. It might feel completely different on this side. Each hip has its own story, so that's not a mistake. It doesn't mean you're wonky, it means you're human. So let's take some breaths here. You might want to just let your head hang so that we haven't got any demand on the back of the neck. And feel the ground, feel all those points of contact between your body and the mat, sit bones, buttocks, sides of feet, palms of hands. Aware of this body folding forwards, this body having some quiet time. And then after a bit of time, you might find again that you can take your hands a bit further forward, or not. Maybe notice how your breath is experienced in this posture. Notice how the breath feels maybe in the back ribs, where they're having a little bit of a stretch and an opportunity to open. And then slowly, with awareness, noticing the hands slowly walking back, and allow them to rest again on the knees. Maybe give your head a bit of movement, bit of a dance, softening the jaw again. Okay, so now we're going to unknot your legs. Allow them to be straight out in front of you, drawing your navel in as if you're buttoning your navel to your spine, lifting the shoulders and rolling them back. And feel all those connection points behind the legs as they meet the floor. And then bring your hands up to vertical and let the palms face each other. And then let's inhale as we sort of open the body, as we stretch back, leaning back. Exhale as you reach forwards. Inhaling, stretching back, drawing the navel in. Exhaling, reaching forwards. Again, we're not pushing, we're not trying to get somewhere else. Let's just be where we are. Inhaling, reaching back, drawing the navel in. Exhaling, reaching forwards, lifting the heart, and then let the hands just float to wherever they do. They might float to the shins or the ankles, or they might float to the feet. And then lengthening your spine, relaxing your shoulders. Let's just take a few breaths here. And then inhaling, releasing the hands, reaching up tall. And exhaling, letting the hands float down beside the body. Let's bend the knees round and come onto all fours. So we want the arms dangling down beneath the shoulders, the hands under the shoulders. And so that we don't have lots of pressure on the wrists, what's helpful is to just let the fingers fold down first. So we really plant the knuckles at the base of the fingers first, and then the rest of the hand. And you can do that with the other hand as well. And the knees are under the hips. Let's invite some cat-cow movement. So we're going to inhale as we lift the heart center and sink the belly, and the sit bones sort of lift up behind. We feel a stretch in the belly. And then exhale, pushing the hands into the mat, drawing the navel in towards the spine, nose to navel. So let's just move into and out of that. Inhaling, lifting the heart, stretching the lower belly. Exhaling, rounding the spine, pushing the mat away from you. And going at the pace of your breath. At the whole of the inhale is the lifting of the heart and the breastbone. And the whole of the exhale is squeezing out, releasing. And then you might want to either continue as we are or let it go a bit freestyle, so that you can sort of move your body however it wants to move. So just see what feels right for you. You might want to fold back and almost roll along the floor like a wave washing onto a beach, rolling back and then rolling along. You might want to twist and look towards your heels, moving your hips the opposite way to the way the head is moving. That can invite a nice stretch in the pelvis. But sort of listening to where does your body want to twist right now? What does it want to do? And then slowly coming back to a more vertical spine. Let's Now keep the hips above the knees, so the thighs stay vertical, and let's just walk the hands forwards a bit. So this is like a playful puppy. The forehead might come down to the ground and it might not, but we're sort of pushing the palms of the hands into the floor and feeling a stretch in the shoulders. And you might want to notice your breath, really breathing into the space under the shoulder blades, under your wings. Coming out if you need to, holding only for what feels comfortable. We want to always embrace this sense of steadiness and comfort in our practice. If your forehead was on the ground, lifting the head and then walking the hands back to just under the shoulders. And then taking your left hand and placing it sort of in the center of your mat. Allow that left hand to now be what's supporting your torso so that you can inhale and lift the right arm up. And then exhale, taking that right arm down under the arch of your left hand. Inhaling, coming back up. So we're not going to hold it just yet. We're just inviting that movement at first, and then exhaling down. Inhaling, reaching, maybe reach a bit higher. And this time, when you exhale down, I'm going to turn around just so you can see it from another angle. You're going to let your shoulder blade, or not your shoulder blade, the side of your right shoulder rest on the floor. And you might just want to stay here, or you could lift your left arm up towards the sky. And you might want to leave your left arm up to the sky, or you could place the palm of the left hand on your sacrum, your lower back, and then invite your left elbow to move towards that side. It's inviting a bit of an opening and a twisting. So the left elbow is moving the opposite way to your right hand, if that's easier to explain. And now inhaling, lifting the left arm up for the sky. Let it float back down so that you can press now into the left hand and come back to vertical. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So the hips are above the knees. Going to walk the hands forwards again, back into that happy puppy. Forehead maybe meeting the ground. And this time, really notice your armpits as if they're trying to draw towards the ground. And aware of your sit bones as if they're moving back towards your heels. They won't move, it might be a micro movement, but just being aware of that direction, we're inviting opening in the lower waist. And remember to notice a nice, full, comfortable breath. Your breath is your guide to whether you're maintaining a sense of kindness with your practice. So if you're gasping, maybe have a pause. And then lifting the forehead off the ground, walking the hands back to under the shoulders again. And then we'll do that threading the needle on the other side. I'm just going to move my mat. It seems to walk on this floor. So this time we're going to put the right hand in the center of the mat. I'll come around this way to show you. In the center, so it's sort of in my midline. And then we're inhaling, lifting the left arm up towards the sky. And then exhaling, sweeping down, not holding it. Inhaling, reaching up. And exhaling, sweeping down. Inhale, reaching. a little bit higher. And this time when we exhale and come down, we let the left shoulder meet the floor. The right hand comes to beside the head. And you could choose just to stay here, or to lift the right arm up towards the sky. Maybe explore each one and see what's available to you today. Or you could take your palm of your right hand, rest it on your lower back, your sacrum, and then nudge the right elbow the opposite way to where your left hand is. And meet your breath. And then lifting the right arm up towards the sky again, let it float down beside your head. Palm meets the floor so you can use all that pressure into the floor to come back onto all fours. And now let's just fold into child. So the buttocks rest on the heels and the arms, elbows slightly bent. So we're not extending them this time into a stretch. We're really flopping into a relaxed posture. Forehead meeting the floor. If the forehead doesn't comfortably meet the floor, you could use a fist to stack your forehead on, or two. It's quite nice to have the forehead supported, whether it's by the ground or a fist. That pressure on the forehead invites us to move into a more relaxed nervous system. So now as you rest in child, really feel your body from the inside. Feel your arms from the inside. Your shoulders. Feel your ribs from inside the body. And the ebb and flow of your breath. Feel your thighs and your lower legs and your feet. Your pelvis and buttocks. Feel your face and the space behind your face. Fully connect with this moment. Imagine there's not a what next, but there's just a now. Notice how that changes the flavor of the moment when we're just marinating in this moment. And then you might want to just slide your hands along the mat so that they arrive near your ankles and the palms turn up. And then the shoulder blades can slide apart, the shoulders almost sort of slide off the spine as if they're melting towards the ground. And let's spend some breaths here. Notice your jaw. Notice any areas that might still be holding on a little and whether they can soften. And then lifting the head, guiding the hands forwards, coming to rest on your tummy. And the elbows are just under your shoulders. The chin is tucked in, so we've got a nice relaxed back of the neck. And then allow the lower arms to really meet the mat and the palms to meet the floor. And imagine you were going to drag that mat towards your navel. So it's sort of a sense of pulling towards you. And at the same time, the torso is drawing out of the pelvis. The shoulders are softened. And let's breathe into the belly. Give it some space. If this this back bend feels a little bit strong, you could just take your elbows a bit further forwards and then your tummy can soften more into the mat and that might be more comfortable. So adjusting if you need to. So right now we're feeling all the points of contact between the front of the body and the floor. Tops of the feet, knees, thighs, hip bones, tummy, elbows, lower arms and hands. And now let's slide the body down to the floor. The elbows go out to the side. Head turns to one side. And allow yourself to really meet the mat. Allow yourself to be heavy. And then turning your forehead to meet the mat, take your arms alongside your body and then place one hand on your sacrum and into that palm, let the other hand rest. And then we're going to do a gentle back bend, a torso lift, but to create that stability, so I've got to scratch my nose. To create that stability, we want to press down through the tops of the feet and the fronts of the thighs and the hips. And then we're going to inhale, lifting the torso, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then exhale down. Inhaling, lifting, shoulder blades drawn towards each other. Exhaling, lowering. Inhaling, lifting, going at the pace that's right for you. And exhaling, lowering. And you could continue to do that, or you might want to, next time you inhale, lifting up and hold that for a few breaths. So it's almost like you're breathing your belly into the mat. And then exhaling down and turn your head this time the other way. So you can relax your neck, allow the arms to just flop down by your sides. And meet yourself here in this moment again. So we're bringing in pauses in our practice. And now bending the elbows and stacking one hand. If I show you this way, you might see. Actually, the room isn't long enough. Basically, we're stacking the hands like that. I've got to blow my nose, excuse me. My lovely dog fur on my yoga mat. Okay, so we're stacking one hand on top of the other. I expect you can't see because the dog's there with the image. We're going to allow the hands to sort of be glued to the forehead as the forehead rests on the floor. And we're going to do the same as we did last time. So we're going to press down through the tops of the feet, the fronts of the thighs and the hips, and then inhaling, lifting up. And exhaling, lowering. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, lowering. Inhaling, lifting. And exhaling, coming down. And then you could either continue with that or choose to hold it up for a few breaths. Lifting up and then holding, pressing your lower body into the mat to stabilize you. And then exhaling down, turning your head the opposite way. And relaxing. And now let's invite a stretch to the fronts of the thighs. So we'll start with the right thigh. Let's bend the right knee and hold around the foot. Or if you've got a belt, you could loop it around the foot. Or what can be handy is to just grab a bit of your clothing if you can't quite reach your foot. So the forehead resting on one hand, and we're gently drawing the heel towards the buttock. It doesn't have to meet the buttock. It's a journey that we're on, and we're sort of somewhere that's okay to be. We don't have to reach our destination yet. So breathing with awareness into that right thigh, almost as if it were a lung. And as you breathe out from the right thigh, you might feel a sense of it softening and letting go a little. Breathing into and out of that right thigh, if that's available to you. Or maybe just imagining it softening on the out-breath. And after a few breaths, you might find that you can lower your heel a bit closer towards the buttock. Again, we're not forcing. If you were to force and try and pull your heel towards your buttock, your body would feel unsafe, so it would contract to protect you. So you'd actually achieve less. So being kind and really noticing what's enough, the body will stretch more because it feels that it's in really safe hands. Okay, and then let's let go of that right foot. Let's circle the toes, excuse the woof. And lower that foot down to the floor. And let's just do the same on the other side now. So the right hand can support the forehead, left knee bends, hold either the foot or a bit of clothing, and draw the heel, a comfortable place towards the buttock. All we want to do is feel a comfortable stretch in the belly of the thigh. So we don't want to feel discomfort near the knee or the hip. That means we're drawing the leg a bit too close. We want to feel it in the heart of the thigh muscle. And if it works for you, this idea of the thigh being like a lung that you can breathe your energy into and breathe out from it as it softens and relaxes, yeah, go with that. And after a few breaths, you might find that the heel will move a little bit closer towards the buttock. And it might not, and that's okay as well. Our bodies have their unique patterns, and they're who we are. And just allow that to be so. Just as we want to be accepted in life, our bodies want to be accepted by us too. They're doing the best they can. And then releasing that foot, circling the toes as you lower the leg down. Turning your head whichever way feels most comfortable, and let's pause here. Pause here to meet your breath, to discover your breath breathing you. To discover the sensation of your body moving with the breath. And now lifting your head off your hands, bringing the hands to just under your shoulders. Let the wings of your elbows move in towards your body. And then pressing into your knees and your hands at the same time, sweeping up. Butt rests on heels, and let's just move over now into resting on the floor. Knees bent, hands on belly. And take time to feel your connection again with the earth. The stability of the earth holding you. And then move your heels a little bit closer towards your buttocks, hip width apart. Knees are above your ankles, so they're not rolling in or rolling out to the side, they're vertical. And we'll move into the bridge pose. So let's take the arms up over the head and let them rest on the floor. And then slowly peeling off first just your tailbone, so the rest of your back is completely planted on the floor. And then one vertebrae at a time, we're peeling off. Inhaling up, breastbone towards the chin. And then slowly exhaling back down. And let the hands flow down at the end of the movement. Inhaling, arms move through the air. Tailbone points to the sky, then the sacrum, then the vertebrae lift. Head nice and heavy on the mat. And then exhaling back down. Feel free to go at your pace that accommodates your breath. And you could choose to just move into and out of this, or maybe next time to hold that up for a few breaths if that feels okay. So inhaling, the arms go over the head, they settle into the mat, and we peel off. And then if you're choosing to remain in the bridge, really pressing the whole of the soles of the feet into the mat, letting each part of the feet meet the mat, lifting the inner ankles, drawing the navel up towards the sky, breathing into and expanding into the rib cage. And then when you feel ready on your next exhale, slowly rolling back down, followed by the hands. Notice the sensations of your body, the warmth of your body, the aliveness of your body. And then bringing your knees in towards your chest, holding around the fronts of the shins, relaxing the shoulders. Let's just gently rock from side to side, give the spine a massage. And then slowing that down until you come to stillness. Taking the arms out to the side like a letter T. Taking a breath in. And then as you breathe out, let the knees fall to the right. And your head, if it feels comfy, can look to the left. If that doesn't feel nice for your neck, then you could just allow your face to look up to the sky. You can place your right hand on the outside of the left thigh to sort of hug the knees towards the ground to invite a bit more of a stretch if that feels okay. And breathe into the left chest, the left ribs. Imagining the fingers of the ribs expanding on the in-breath and softening back on the out-breath. Noticing particularly the connection between the shoulder blades and the floor. Really wanting them to settle and be felt by the ground and feel the ground beneath them. And then on the next inhale, lifting the knees back to the center. And then exhaling, knees to the left and turning the head to the right if that feels okay. And then the left hand can come on the outside of the right thigh. And you can breathe into the right chest. Feeling that expanding of the right ribs with the in-breath. And the softening of the body on the out-breath. Relaxing the jaw. Noticing this moment felt by the body. And then on the next inhale, bringing the knees back to the center, hugging around the shins, lifting the nose towards the knees, and then settling the head back. And we're going to rest now in Shavasana. So you might want to grab a blanket to cover your body. You might like to have a cushion under your head or under your knees if your lower back needs a bit of space. So just gathering what you need to settle now. And allow your body to relax into the support of the ground. Feel all those points of contact between the back of your body and the floor. The heels, how they meet the ground. The backs of the lower legs, the calves as they press into the mat. Thighs, the weight of the thighs pressing down. And buttocks, back ribs, arms and elbows, and hands, shoulder blades, and the back of the head. And become aware of the space around you. Aware of the sounds that might come to your ears. Sounds coming and going. And aware of your breath coming and going. Bathing the body with life. Breath flowing in. And breath releasing. And with each out breath, really allowing that sense of release and soften to be felt by the body. Just I'd like to read a short quote from Marianne Williamson. We're all assigned a piece of the garden, a corner of the universe that's ours to transform. Our corner of the universe is our own life, our relationships, our home, our work, our current circumstances exactly as they are. And every situation we find ourselves in is an opportunity to tend our garden. And as Rumi, the Sufi poet, said, when we wander into the garden, we tend to notice the flowers, not the thorns. So let's notice what's the flowers in our life. So for those of you that have a TRE practice, you might now like to move into your TRE practice of awakening your tremors. And those of you that don't have a TRE practice, then to just stay here in your Shavasana, resting on the floor for 5 to 10 minutes, will be deep nourishment for your body. It's one of the most beneficial asanas in the yoga practice. So for now, I'll say namaste and look forward to seeing you again soon. Namaste. Keep safe and well. Thank you.